Very good morning, children. How are you all? I hope you are really doing fine. So I hope you have also seen the two sessions of the new unit which we are studying, and also if you have not watched the videos, please go back and watch the two videos and come here so that you can understand the continuation part of the unit. So we have seen the adaptations in the plants, and also we have seen the adaptations in the animals, and now we are going to see a bit deep into the adaptations of the animals. Okay, children, so stay tuned. So now, children, we'll see some kind of adaptations in animals also. Now, we have seen the kangaroo rat and other animals like window snake, and also we'll also see some of the other adaptations now. So now there are some animals which are very active during the night time. They sleep the whole day. They are not that active during the daytime, but when it becomes night, they become very active. So those kind of animals are usually called as the nocturnal animals. You can see here I have written here the word nocturnal animals. So these nocturnal animals are basically very active during the night time. They they sleep in the morning time. They're not that active in the daytime and all, but in the night time, they will be very active. These kind of animals are they live in a complete darkness, and moreover, they have very good senses of the hearing and also smell. Their eyesight might not be that good, but whereas when you take the example of bats and all, their eyesight is not that good, but whereas they have very great sense of hearing and also a very great sense of smell. And that is the reason how they are able to get their prey. They are able to save themselves from the predators and all. So, and also they have adapted the eyesight in such a way that they can see clearly in the night time. They're not especially bad and all, but regarding some other animals also here, they look very clearly in the night time. So that they have to adapt to that situation because they are going in the darkness and they should be able to see something, right? So they have adapted the eyesight. So because of these three things, senses of hearing, smell, and adapted the eyesight and all, but because of these three things and all, they are able to get their prey, what is the food they want, and also at the same time they are able to save themselves from the predators. That means the animals which depend upon them. So that's how they are able to save themselves. The first thing is that what is the kind of adaptations they have got now? Senses of hearing and also a very good sense of smell, and also adapting the eyesight to look in the darkness. So these are the different kinds of adaptations you can see in the animals which are nocturnal, which are active in the night time. You can take the cats, rats, bats, owls. All these are the nocturnal animals. And also apart from this, there are some snakes also which are nocturnal. If you go to the zoological park which is in Hyderabad, you can go there and you can see there is a separate section of the nocturnal animals. And if you go inside, you can see all the animals over there which are absolutely nocturnal in nature, and they are all kept in the darkness. You have a very low lighting over there, and you can see the snakes and the owls and whatnot. So all different kinds of animals are there which you can clearly see, which are nocturnal in nature. And apart from that, there are some insects also which are nocturnal. For example, you can name the cricket, fireflies, fishes, and also some of the few desert animals also, they become nocturnal. Why these desert animals becoming nocturnal? Because in the daytime it will be like the scorching hot will be there, so it will be tremendously hot over there. So that's why they don't come in the morning time, but they like to come out in the night so that they can get their food and all. So that is how the animals which are these are all the animals which are nocturnal in nature. So apart from this, you can see that there are some animals like not one animal, each and every animal, what they do is they depend for they need the shelter, food, water, and light. So these are the four things which they require at any cost. They require the shelter, they require the food, they require the water, they require the light, they require the air. So these are all the things which are necessary for the animals to survive. So without these animals cannot survive at any cost. So because they need all these things, so like if they have to survive in these conditions and all, they have to adapt their body according to the habitats or ecosystems where they are living. So we'll see such kind of, we are going to see such kind of adaptations in the animals which belong to this particular, belong to different ecosystems. Now we have already seen the changes which we see in the adaptations which we see in the desert ecosystem, and now we are going to see the adaptations which takes place in the aquatic ecosystem. Okay children, so we are going to learn about the aquatic ecosystem now. So children, here we are going to see the different kinds of adaptations in the aquatic ecosystem. So when you talk about the aquatic ecosystem, there are two different kinds of ecosystems and they are divided into two types. One is the freshwater, the second one is the marine water. When you come to the freshwater, you can see the ponds, lakes, rivers, streams, okay. All these comes under the freshwater ecosystem. Whereas when you talk about the marine water, what are the two things which comes here? One is seas, second one is oceans. So these are the two which comes in the marine water ecosystem. So aquatic ecosystem is divided into two types. One is freshwater ecosystem and second one is the marine water ecosystem. So the kind of like the two types you can see here is the freshwater and the marine water, and here ponds, lakes, rivers, streams, seas and oceans are the different examples of the freshwater and the marine water ecosystem. Whereas if you see this freshwater and marine water ecosystem, they both are completely different from each other. Whereas here in the freshwater, the salt content is very, very less. Negligible amount of salt content is present here. But whereas in the seas and oceans, it is around 3.5% of salt is present here. It's only some 1% or 0. Some change is present in the freshwater ecosystem. But whereas when you come to the seawater, there's almost 3.5% of salt water, percent of the salt is present in the water. So that means the animals which are living in these conditions, the animals which are living in the seas and oceans should adapt themselves in a situation that they have to withstand even the high excess amount of the salts also, isn't it? So in freshwater, it's around hardly 1.5 or some percent of salt is present here, but whereas it's around 3.5% of salt is here. So the animals which are living in these conditions or in these conditions, they should be able to adapt themselves to the place where they are living. Okay, that is one of the point I want to tell you here. And second one is, generally, we'll just talk generally, just to generalize the things and all. We can say that aquatic animals, they have the spaces inside and they are a bit light in weight, okay, because these two factors will make the organism absolutely to stay on the water, to stay on the easily, to swim in the water, to stay in the water very easily, so that they can also swim in the water. Okay, so they have body spaces inside and they are a bit lightweight, and also their body structure, and also the fins which are present in their bodies, especially if we're talking about the fishes and all, the fins which they have on the bodies and all, they are very, very useful for the swimming, because they use these fins to move forward, and also they use the tail to turn the directions. So this is how the animals will have their own kind of adaptations if they are living in such an environment. Okay, so if you take the turtles, they have flippers. If you take the turtles, they have flippers, and if you take the fishes, they have fins to move forward, and if you take the dolphins and all, they have the floaters in their body. Dolphins, they have floaters in their body. So you can see these are even if you see the fishes also, they are different from each other, right? If you take the turtles, they have flippers to move forward, and if they have fishes, they have fins to move forward. If it is dolphins, they have floaters to move forward. That means each and every animal which are living in the water also, they have their own way of adaptations, so that they can live in that particular water. So even if you take the microorganisms like phytoplanktons, they have some oil in their body. These phytoplanktons are they belong to the plant kingdom, and also these phytoplanktons which prepare their own food material, they should require the sunlight. Because they require the sunlight, they have to be in the upper stages of the sea level, right? If the sea level or they have to stay here itself, right? If they are here or somewhere, the light cannot pass until that particular depth, and that's the reason why they all are here. And now these are able to make their food material. Okay, that means they have to float here. First of all, they have to float here, and for the floating and all, there are some oil drops in them, oil droplets in them. So that's the reason why, because they have the oil droplets, they are able to float on the water. They are able to float on the water, and that is how they are able to they get the sunlight and air and all whatnot, and they are able to prepare their food material. Okay, children. So larger, if you take the so children, that is how each and every animal will have their own different kinds of adaptations to live in the different ecosystems. And also tomorrow we are going to deal with the adaptations in the marine ecosystem, and also the secrets of swimming and whatnot. Very, very interesting topic is going to come. So we'll see you tomorrow. Until then, yeah, see you all. Have a great day. God bless you.